Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something super important. Whether you're playing a board game or out on the sports field, we're diving into something called game spirit. So think about it for a second. I bet you have. That moment when a really fun game just stops being fun. Maybe you and a friend couldn't agree on a rule, or you both thought you scored the winning point. It happens to all of us, right? Well, how we deal with those moments is exactly what we're exploring today. So, what even is game spirit? Well, it's not just about playing a game. It's all about how you play. It means that when you win, you're cool about it. You don't brag. And maybe even more importantly, when you lose, you can handle it without getting super angry or upset. It's really all about your character. And this idea isn't new at all. Way back, India's very first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, said it perfectly. This quote is such a great reminder that the point isn't just about winning. It's about playing fair, respecting the people you're playing with, and, honoring the game itself. To really get this, let's jump into a story. We're going to meet a boy named David who gets himself into one of those exact situations we were just talking about. So you can just picture it. We see David, and he is clearly having a bad day. He's sitting all by himself, just hiding his face in his hands. His body language is screaming that something is seriously wrong. Of course, his parents notice something's up. They start asking him questions, but look at his answers. Nothing. I don't want to play. He's just shutting them down, trying to keep it all inside. I think we all kind of do that sometimes when we're upset, don't we? But after a little while, the real reason finally comes out. It's not that he's sick or just in a grumpy mood. The problem is a total classic. He got into a fight with his friend. And where did it happen? Of course, during a game. And here it is, the heart of the whole problem. David is 100% sure he scored a goal, but his friend, Peter, says no way. Both of them are totally convinced they're right, and now their whole friendship is feeling the heat because of it. Just when it seems like they're totally stuck, David's dad steps in. And this, right here, is the turning point, where we go from having a big problem to finding a really clever and totally fair solution. Now, this is such a smart question from his dad. He gets right to the point. They weren't using a real goal, were they? Nope, they were just using their coats on the ground. And that little detail explains everything. It's the whole reason they could even argue about it in the first place. And here's where a little bit of wisdom comes in handy. David's dad, he's been here before. He actually remembers having this exact same problem when he was a kid, and he and his friends came up with a special way to solve it. Okay, so check out this rule. It's a simple 3-step plan. First, the person who says they scored gets to take a penalty kick. Now, second, if they make that kick, they get credit for that goal and the first one. But, and this is the important part, if they miss the penalty, then neither of them count. It's a really cool way to settle the argument with skill. And what does David think? He absolutely loves it. You can almost feel his whole mood change, right? He goes from being all upset and stubborn to excited. He finally has a plan. So, with this fantastic idea from his dad, David doesn't waste a single second. It's time to put this plan into action. He bolts right back to the playground, finds Peter and his other friends, and explains the whole fair penalty rule. This is the big moment. Are they gonna go for it? And they do! The idea is a huge hit. Everybody agrees it's a fair way to solve the problem, the argument is totally over, and the game is back on. It just goes to show how a good, fair rule can bring the fun back and, save a friendship. So, this story about David is way more than just a story about a football game. It's the perfect example of game spirit in action. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the real lesson here. Here it is, the main message. It's so simple, but it's so true. In the end, it really didn't matter if David's first shot was a goal or not. What really mattered was that they found a way to keep playing together. The friendship was way more important than scoring a point. So let's wrap it all up. Game spirit means you can handle winning and losing gracefully. It means you look for fair ways to figure out problems. It's all about remembering that your friendship is the real prize. And probably most important of all, it's about trying your best and just having a good time. And that brings us to a final question just for you. The next time you're playing a game and things start to get a little tense, what are you going to do? How will you make sure that the spirit of the game and your friendships are the things that really win?